say hello to our MLB panel. DraftKings contributors Garion, Thorne, and Nick Friar. Guys, this is Cover the Bases. So getting your favorite plays in the following categories for tonight's MLB main slate. First base, we're going to get your favorite DFS hitter. Garion, a full 15-game slate. Who are you going with?
Yeah, full 15-game slate, which might be contributing to this guy's price point, but I don't understand why Shohei Ohtani isn't like $6,500. There's a reason he's one of the two guys who right now are the runaway favorites to win American League MVP. And yes, some of that is his amazing pitching, but there hasn't been a hitter on the planet hotter than Ohtani in the month of June. He's got a 547 ISO, a 232 WRC plus. He's so hot, my fire alarm is going off.
Oh my God.
Really, like,
yes.
wonderful prop work by me. Yeah, like Ohtani should be over 6K. He should be priced where Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is priced on every slate. And yet he's not. He's only $4,900, despite the fact that Jameson Taillon has struggled immensely with left-handed bats so far this season, despite the fact that they are playing in Yankee Stadium. And we saw what Ohtani can do to Yankee Stadium just yesterday. So I know he's expensive, but he should be more expensive. So I think Ohtani is actually strangely one of the better value plays on today's slate.
Nick, what are you going to do in terms of DFS hitter? Are you going to pay up?
Well, I like the Ohtani pick, first of all, because, I mean, anytime you're targeting Jameson Taillon, I mean, that guy's been brutal this season. But I'm actually going to go with another guy who I was surprised that he was under 5K, and that's Nelson Cruz at 4.8K. And I know Giolito shoved against the Twins earlier in the season, but Nelson Cruz still got a home run in that game. And in 23 career plate appearances against Giolito, he has a 1348 career OPS, 4 home runs and a double. And so I have no problem backing him. And another guy that I was interested in, too, was Max Kepler, because he's done well against Giolito. I know Giolito did well against the Twins again earlier in the season, but either way, getting one of these two hitters against him tonight, I think Cruz is after seeing him hit a ball to Mars the other night, it feels like he's doing it every other night. So I got to go with Nelson Cruz at 4.8K.
All right, let's talk DFS pitcher. Nick, are you going to pay all the way up for Brandon Woodruff?
No, and there are a lot of good names here tonight, and I'm going to go with one guy who I was trusting earlier in the season, but then kind of started frustrating me as things went along. And that's Charlie Morton going up against the Mets tonight at 8.8K. I know he just faced him, and I usually don't like going with pitchers after they just faced the team their last start, the same team in their last start, excuse me. But Morton shoved against the Mets, and they have not been good against anybody, any right-handers of late. I mean, even Kyle Hendricks got 7 strikeouts in 6 innings against them. So first of all, I like Charlie Morton's K-prop tonight, taking the over on that. But the Mets in general, for DFS purposes, they're the 24th in team OPS against right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. They have a 1-2-3 team ISO against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. Morton had 11 Ks in 7 innings, 0 runs against them last time out, and that's back-to-back 30 plus DK fantasy point performances out of him. So I have the ultimate faith in him tonight in a field that's, there's quite a few good pitching options.
Gary, what do you think? Where are you going? DFS pitcher.
Yeah, like Nick was alluding to at the end there, this is a deep slate. So there are a lot of options. There are a lot of guys who are somewhat underpriced considering how good they've been in the past. But I still would pay up for Brandon Woodruff if you have the money to do so. I just think the matchup is too tantalizing. The Cubs have not only not been hitting the past 2 weeks, they have the lowest WRC plus in baseball in that span of time. They have a 33.7% strikeout rate, which is ridiculous on its own, but is even more ridiculous when you consider the second place team in that stretch is Seattle at 26.7%. So they have been on a whole other planet when it comes to strikeouts. Woodruff's got a 31% strikeout rate for the season. His ERA is sub 2. His xERA is 2.52. He's been fantastic. The Cubs have been terrible. I think he'll actually pay off this massive salary tonight.
All right, let's move on over to the sports book. Favorite run line or money line bet, Gary, and where are you going?
I'm going to take the Red Sox on the run line. This number has actually moved pretty considerably since last night. They were at plus money when this line opened. Now it's minus 118, but I still don't mind it. The Red Sox have the 3rd best run line record in all of baseball, and Brad Keller just is not a good pitcher. He's got a 6.88 expected ERA so far this season. The Red Sox lineup should be able to absolutely demolish this guy. And in Keller's last 4 starts, the Royals have lost all 4 games, and they've been outscored 31-6. So it's not like he's had a lot of close games lately either.
All right, Nick, where are you going?
I think that's a good pick going in that one too, because Pivetta, last time out, I had doubted him completely, and then he went through 7 shutout innings or 7 no-hit innings. I think I didn't get a chance at the no-hit bid, but whatever. I'm actually going to go with the Padres at -1.5 tonight against the Reds. And the Reds, I know you think their offense against right-handed pitching usually does well, but they're going up against Blake Snell tonight, and I know he's been hit or miss. A couple starts ago, he didn't do so hot. Then he came out and did well against the Dodgers. The Reds are not hitting left-handed pitching well of late. They're 26th in team OPS against lefties over the last couple of weeks, and their ISO is under 100. I think it's like at 83. Yeah. 83, I think, right now. And then the Padres have one of the hottest lineups in the game. Whether you're looking at lefties or righties, it doesn't matter. But they're facing a righty to start tonight, and they have the best ISO against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. They have the second best OPS against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. But whoever they bring out of the bullpen too, it doesn't matter. The Padres are hitting everyone and anyone. It's like them and the Astros right now, pretty much offensively. So I have no problem backing them, and trusting Blake Snell is going to be halfway decent tonight at least. So I'm taking the Padres at -1.5.
All right, Nick, let's talk about your favorite game total here. Pirates at Rockies is the highest projected total, 11 runs. What do you think?
I never trust in the Rockies. Especially this season, I know it's at Coors, but I don't know what I'm getting in any given night. I mean, Marquez, is pitching tonight. And I know he started off kind of strong at the beginning of the season, and then he's kind of gone in the other direction. So I don't know what I'm necessarily going to get. I am actually going to go with just the A's against the Rangers tonight at over 4.5 runs. They're going up against Mike Foltynewicz. I like the Astros right now. They're at plus money, but we don't know who's starting tonight for the Orioles. And that shouldn't make too much of a difference, but I do need to know that. Whereas with the A's, they're facing Foltynewicz, and this is a guy who I have no problem going up against anytime. Usually like his hits against props. But the Rangers bullpen too, they've been pretty meh. They don't have a good ERA over the last couple of weeks. Their FIP indicates it's going to go in the right direction, but not by much. And their WHIP's middle of the pack too. So I know the A's haven't been as hot as they were maybe a week ago against right-handed pitching, but they're still like top 11 in the league. So I have no problem. Last time out, I think they faced Foltynewicz actually started against the A's last time out. That was the other thing. And I like fading pitchers that had a strong start against the team in their middle of the pack. So I have no problem with trusting the A's to get 5 runs tonight.
All right, Garion, favorite game total. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to take the under in the Seattle-Toronto game. This line is actually also moved. It opened at 10. It's now 9.5. I'd still buy in at 9.5 on the under. I get that Seattle's been winning games lately. Their offense has been pretty good. The Jays have one of the best offenses in baseball. I can understand why people would think runs are going to be scored in this game, but when you look at Robbie Ray and Chris Flexen in the month of June, Ray's got a 2.51 ERA. Flexen is a 3.04 ERA. Seattle has the 6th best bullpen in baseball by FIP. There's just a lot of above average to good pitching projected to be in this game, and I don't think we get this high a number. I think it's also worth noting that even with the Jays scoring crazy amounts of runs against the Orioles the past week, they've only hit the over once in their past 6 games because they've been pitching pretty well. So I just think this number's set too high. The perception of these two starters is much worse than their actual statistics. They've been really good, so I'll take the under.